One of the most powerful features of HTML5 is its support for audio and video. It's this support that allows HTML5 to act as a replacement for plugins such as Silverlight and Flash. Although the support for audio and video is not as extensive in HTML5, it is achieved without the perceived costs of having to add a plugin. It is early days for video in HTML5, and there is not yet a standard for which format to use across browsers. MP4 is widely available, but it's not free, and there are patent and license issues which require some websites to pay a fee. Currently, IE and Safari only support MP4, however. An alternative to MP4 emerging very quickly is WebM, the current contender as the alternative. As this chart shows, IE and Safari do not support WebM, they support only MP4, where Firefox, Chrome, and Opera are the exact opposite, supporting only WebM. To create video in your HTML5 page, you will use the video element. There are a number of attributes that you might assign to the video element, and these include the source, which takes the URL of the video, controls, which tells HTML5 to display all the standard controls such as pause, fast forward, full screen, etc. Autoplay, which tells the page to begin playing the video as soon as it's loaded. Loop, which causes the video to play repeatedly. Poster, which takes an image, or more accurately a URL to an image, which is what is displayed until the video begins. And preload. Preload can allow for pre-caching of aspects of the video, and the values attendant to preload are none, or just the metadata, or auto, which is the default, which will get the video immediately before it begins playing. Let's take a look at a demo of adding video to an HTML5 application. When presenting video in HTML5, you can start with just the essentials. Here I've added a video element and I've set the source to a video file. I will need either to add the attribute controls, which will give me all the controls in the player, or at least I will need to add autoplay so that it will start when the page comes up. Let's run the application in Chrome. When you set color as the input type, and you can see that it runs as soon as it loads and fills the screen. Let's turn off autoplay and turn on controls and set the width and the height and run it again. This time you can see that the player comes up not taking up the entire page, but to the width and height we set, and with a full set of controls, and we can press play. When you set color as the we can press full screen, adjust the sound, or pause the video. You will remember that MP4 is supported in IE and Safari, but not in Chrome or Opera. And so we really would like to provide multiple sources. Let's take our source attribute out, and within the video tag, we can add source tags, one for MP4 and one for WebM. Now we'll use the appropriate file based on which browser we run. So if we run Internet Explorer, we'll get the MP4 file, which we can play. When you set color as the input type, and if instead we run Opera, will get its player with the WebM version.
When you set color as the input type,
Finally, we'd like to start with a designated image rather than just the first frame of the film. And we can do that by adding the poster property and giving it a URL. I took an image of the video and saved it in colorpicker.jpg. Let's run Opera and see that. Refresh the page, and you can see that the initial image that's shown is my JPG, but as soon as I start showing the video, it flips over. We can also run it in Google Chrome. What comes up is my initial poster image, but when I run the video, the image gives way and the video begins.